morning to the top cut rounds of our 2018 Pokemon VGC Malaysian Open here at Toys Anime Games and Comics Convention in Mid-Valley Mega Mall. I'll be your commentator for today, Aklif.
And I'm Ismail Myron, and joining us for our first top cut match is Alistair and Martin Teo.
Yep, and I think both of them, this is like the one of the top rounds. I think they're 5-1 each, right?
Both are at 5-1.
Yep, alright. So, yeah, we've seen Martin on stream, and what about Alistair? What do you know about him, Ismail?
Alistair came all the way from Perth, Australia, and from what I understand, he'll be rocking the same team that he brought to Singapore Open to.
Oh, I see. So,
Yeah.
and what team is it exactly?
It's more of like a rain hybrid, from what I understand, along with the Trick Room mode.
Alright.
Whereas Martin Teo is going to be bringing roughly the same team, I
Yep.
guess, from the recent MSS that we had back
Correct.
in March.
And we also featured him on stream yesterday, where
Absolutely.
he had Follow Me Lucario with also a Trick Room Musharna, was it?
Exactly, it's really hardcore Trick Room.
Yep.
I really respect the play, but it's quite flowchart-ish.
It's very centered around ensuring that Trick Room goes up.
Exactly,
Yep.
and I think the Pokemon operate in Trick Room and sweeping from there.
Yep.
So one is very hyper offensive, speed control very fast, whereas one is hardcore Trick Room.
Right. So we'll go once again on the Pokemon on the team. On Martin's side, on the left, we have Tapu Bulu, Musharna, Lucario, Milotic, Mimikyu, and Camerupt.
Whereas on Alistair, he's rocking that Swampert, Pelipper, Ludicolo, Stakataka, Tapu Koko, and Gardevoir.
So you can see that on Alistair's side, he is carrying 3 water-type Pokemon. All of
Exactly.
them abusers of the rain, which Pelipper can set up with his ability Drizzle.
Exactly, but in terms of speed control with the rain, I'm not sure if he's going to carry that rain mode looking into the matchup. I don't see how it benefits against Martin Teo's Tapu Bulu right there. Tapu Bulu, Milotic, it's kind of hard.
Correct. But I think the reason why he might want to bring rain is because he might be afraid of the Camerupt, and if he sets rain, Camerupt's ability to interrupt or to deal a lot of damage is mitigated due to rain cutting off the fire attack damage.
Yeah, it will only make the move Earth Power viable for the matchup, which you're right, it could absolutely mitigate the damage output from Camerupt to only one move.
We'll just see how Alistair chooses to manage, because I think the bigger risk what Alistair needs to manage is the Trick Room itself rather than Camerupt alone.
Exactly, but I do not see any answers on Alistair's side to prevent
Yeah.
Trick Room from going up at all.
And it seems that his only Trick Room answer is his the Stakataka, but Stakataka loses against like Camerupt. That's the issue.
Exactly. So we do see the lead from Alistair of Tapu Koko and Pelipper, whereas Martin Teo is rocking the Tapu Bulu and Mimikyu.
Yeah, and it's also important to note that some Tapu Bulus tend to be faster, so they can outspeed Pelippers most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we do see that the Drizzle does indeed come out first, compared to Tapu Bulu's grassy terrain.
So that should indicate that it is faster than the
Tapu
Tapu Bulu.
Bulu. Exactly.
So a Hurricane here from the Pelipper can really threaten the Tapu Bulu out if it wants to.
Exactly, but he's also got to respect the Trick Room option coming out
Correct.
from Martin Teo.
The disguise on Mimikyu gives it at least one buffer, gives it a pseudo substitute before it gets hit and KO'd, but it will most probably be able to set up the Trick Room beforehand.
Exactly. I'm not sure if Martin Teo is carrying the Z Trick Room potentially, but I believe the Z is on the Musharna.
Yeah,
so
I think we've seen it in the last stream before where the Z,
it was
the
a Z
Sekian Z
Musharna. Yeah.
was on the Musharna.
He has not brought Mimikyu into any of the matchups, so we're uncertain on what this Mimikyu can do.
I'm thinking that the reason being that it has more pseudo bulk compared to Musharna, because it does not want to take, let's say, Electrium Z and a Rain Boosted Scald.
Absolutely, and we do see a Volt Switch from Tapu Koko into
Going
Stakataka.
into Stakataka, preempting that Trick Room.
Exactly, and we do see a Hurricane into the Tapu Bulu.
Does this pick up the KO? I don't
It does
think
not,
so,
it
yeah.
does not. Tapu Bulu is rather bulky, and we do see a Horn Leech possibly going on to Pelipper. Yep.
Yeah, going to Pelipper and dealing massive amounts of damage. Actually could have one-hit KO if it was not for that Focus Sash. This would heal up a
Absolutely.
lot of its HP.
Yep, that's very good damage indicator that the Hurricane does not pick up the KO
Yep.
on Tapu Bulu.
That's very important for Alistair to take note, because it will enable him to understand his next moves, or like his
Exactly.
choice of attacks in the next game.
Absolutely, and we do see Stakataka in Trick Room mode right now, which is the fastest thing in Trick Room.
Yeah,
but Tapu
I
Bulu
think-
does threaten
I think
Stakataka.
Stakataka has only a base of 20 speed. Was it
Exactly.
15? I forgot.
Uh,
It was really low. It's one of the lowest speeds out there. I think only outsped, but I mean undersped
by
by
Shackle.
Shuckle and Pyukumuku.
Right.
Because Pyukumuku has only a base of 5 speed.
Absolutely. Now Tapu Bulu and Mimikyu are under Trick Room.
But Stakataka should be able to launch off a Gyro Ball into the Tapu Bulu for a KO.
Exactly, and Mimikyu, we might just see a trade of knockouts right now. But Mimikyu has no way of touching Stakataka, so I'm pretty sure it's going to go for the Mimikyu.
Yeah, he might want to go
It's
for the
very-
Tapu because like the Tapu Bulu threatens a bit. The Mimikyu
Yeah.
does not really threaten.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna see possibly a trade of knockouts right now.
Yeah.
Stakataka picking up the KO on Tapu Bulu, and Mimikyu picking up the KO on Pelipper.
Yeah. But actually switching out Mimikyu, I think into Camerupt, although it's a bit of a risk in the rain,
Exactly, and we do see a
Because-
protect.
because if he chooses to go for the Scald here onto the Camerupt slot, it's gonna hurt.
Exactly, and this is the position that Martin wanted to get himself into, where
But now he's just risking it even more. Oh, going for the double into the Tapu Bulu, expecting the Tapu Bulu to switch out instead.
exactly. But this is the position that Martin wanted in the first place: a grass type and a fire type under Trick Room, and they can operate among each other. So we know that the Stakataka can pick up the kill on Bulu, but Camerupt then threatens the knockout back.
Correct, yeah. I guess Alistair really, no, sorry, Martin that took a big risk switching in Camerupt there.
And it paid off, I
Yeah.
would say. The board position is now in
better
Martin
posi-
Teo's favor. I
Because
would say.
Camerupt here threatens the Stakataka very much with an Earth Power.
Exactly.
Once it Mega Evolves and gets a Sheer Force boost.
Exactly. So we'll have to see how does Martin Teo take advantage of this current situation. It's very much in his favor, I would say.
Oh yeah, very very much. And here Alistair needs to play more defensively.
Absolutely.
He can choose to sack the Pelipper. I think he should.
Yeah.
He
But
should.
depending on his last Pokemon in the back, there's nothing else that can operate in Trick Room for
Yeah,
Alistair.
correct. Yeah, that's the issue. Because even if he has the Ludicolo, it's not going to really be.
Ludicolo or Gardevoir.
Oh, actually bring in Musharna. That's two Trick Room options out there.
Absolutely. And we do see Mega Camerupt coming onto the field.
We'll just have to see on.
I believe an Earth Power is coming, man.
Yeah, I definitely think a Nerf Power is coming. But I want to see what the Stakataka is going for, knowing that it's slower. Actually going for a Protect. Fair move, fair move.
Fair move, yeah.
Fair move. Does not want to be KO distant.
We do
Going
see
for
an
Eruption in rain, but
So I'm pretty sure Martin Teo is just covering his options
yeah,
right
covering
now.
his options.
Knowing that Tapu Bulu could be knocked out by Jaraball, so he swapped into Musharna, which is
Musharna,
much
yeah.
slower, can take the Jaraball.
and can chip damage onto the Stakataka anyways.
Absolutely. Breaking a potential Focus Sash on Stakataka.
Correct. No, the Focus Sash was on the
Oh,
Pelipper.
Pelipper, sorry. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. My bad. And we
Um,
do see
going
Ludicolo
to-
coming
well,
in.
he has fake out options this turn.
Yep.
At the very least.
I'm pretty sure he's just trying to stall out the Trick Room as much as he can, possibly.
Yeah, because he needs to be out of Trick Room in order to operate at full.
Absolutely. With the Coco switching on just now from the Volt Switch damage as well, I presume it's going to be choice specs, so I don't think bringing Tapu Koko to try and stall out the Trick Room is a viable
Yeah,
option
he can't
as well.
because as long as
Just-
Camerupt is still on field, the Tapu Koko is going to be in a very kind of useless position, you could say.
Exactly, and also that Martin Teo has two Pokemon that can set up Trick Room as well, so the Trick
Yep.
Room is going to stay
So
regardless.
yeah, Camerupt's gonna protect here because the fake out onto it is it's pretty obvious. Faking
Yep.
out into the Camerupt, knowing that it's a bigger threat. Stakataka going for the Gyro Ball into the Musharna, but both Pokemon are so slow that it doesn't really do much damage.
And we do
since-
see a Z Trick Room.
I don't think it's a Z Trick Room. I think it's Z Psychic probably because it's Shattered Psychic.
It could be Share Psyche
Well,
or
it
Z
could
Trick
be
Room.
or Z Hypnosis for all we
Z
know.
Hypno- We'll have to see. No, it's
No,
Share
it's Shattered
Psyche.
Psychic, so he went for a Z Psychic instead,
Into
wanting
the
to launch
Ludicolo.
off damage. I'm pretty sure it's into the Ludicolo.
Yeah, it's got to go into it. Let's see how much damage this does. This will be an indicator whether it's carrying the Assault Vest or a potential Water Rim Z. That is definitely not Assault Vest.
That's definitely not Assault Vest. Musharna, although gets the stab and launches off a very powerful Z move, it does not have the best special attack out of all that.
Exactly, and this is the position that Martin Teo wanted. The Stakataka slot has no switch-ins to Earth Power at all, unless he nets off a double or triple protect.
But
Like,
that's
no
gonna
way.
be like almost impossible because like
The odds are just not in
even
Alistair's
now
favor.
because if he goes for a Psychic onto the Ludicolo and Earth Power Stakataka, it picks up the KO anyways.
Regardless, exactly.
Since it doesn't have the Assault Vest to soak up the damage.
Absolutely. So this is where the Rainbow is just completely checked by hard Trick Room matchup.
Yeah, technically it is.
Exactly. Yeah, so this is where even though Camerupt is under rain, it can still operate because the Musharna is just there like a safety net.
Yeah, it's because what's happening is that the Camerupt isn't necessarily using its fire moves, and it has another form of super effective damage with its Earth Power. And you can say a Gyro Ball doing minimal damage thanks to the not very resistance as well as minimal speed. And you can Stakataka picking up the easy one hit KO with the 4 times weakness.
Exactly. And then now Tapu Koko's coming back inside here, and I highly doubt it has Protect for the matter.
I don't think it does. And here rain is stopped, so if Alistair has Thunder on his Tapu Koko, it's not gonna be useful.
Exactly. And I don't. Is this last one? No, Trick Room does come
Yeah.
back to normal.
But it doesn't matter because
The rain is the rain is up. It's choice specs.
he,
I really believe
he
it's choice
doesn't really
specs.
need. You mean like because he has like still has 4 Pokemon right? He has the Mimikyu he can choose to sack. He can because like allowing Musharna to get the
No, my point is if you are choice specs right now, what move can you lock yourself into? If it's Thunder, you don't have the rain. The accuracy is just Slightly not in your favor.
Thunderbolt, I guess.
Yeah, we'll
I
have
mean,
to see.
at least you do some damage, or Dazzling Gleam if you wanna have the most neutral damage against the most Pokemon. Although it won't, because like he can't really hit camera up anyways.
Also, Tapu Bulu has a free switch in to come in right here.
Yeah, it's a very easy switch in. But actually maintaining in camera up, I think I'm not sure if he's gonna go for protect.
Well, potentially, yeah, we might just see a protect. Just trying to mitigate the damage by changing the terrain to reduce the damage on Tapu Koko.
Oh, actually switching. Yeah, I told you that's not usually. You would want to bring in Mimikyu because it's a better sack compared to Electro Ball. Does it mean it's Scarf?
No, I still think it's choice specs because.
I mean, because Electro Ball's damage scales with his speed.
Exactly, because I was predicting that he just wants to get rid of Musharna right out. And we do see a Water MZ into the Mimikyu slot.
I think it should be the Mimikyu slot.
It's gotta go into the camera.
I think right now because like he's gonna lose nothing, he might as well maximize his damage in case a switch hit comes out.
Exactly, and we do know that the Tapu Bulu is much slower.
And it doesn't even pick up the KO on the Mimikyu due to the fact it doesn't have the rain boost.
Exactly, now this is where not having the rain is paying dividends for Martin Teo right now.
Yeah.
But with the current health of Mimikyu, it's not in a very good position to set up Trick Room. I believe it's just a good sack, I would say, right now.
Yeah, Mimikyu doesn't need it because if he needs Trick Room again, Musharna can come in after a busted Z move has been used already.
Exactly, but it all comes down to the calculation whether there's Electro Ball outside of terrain. Pick up the KO on Musharna, which is at about 65% of health.
I don't think so. I mean, it could.
It could. We'll have to see. I believe that's where the damage calculation will come into play.
Okay, the question is like, going in for an Electro Ball into the
Mimikyu, I believe.
No, the
Bulu.
Wow, Bulu actually.
What if Mimikyu goes for Trick Room here?
I was thinking like, does he not have Ice Beam? What was he predicting here?
I'm very confused by that play because the Mimikyu could go for a Trick Room and Bulu is in prime position to sweep.
Yeah, Hornleech actually just knocking it straight down. Having absolutely the Tapu Koko have actually no bulk and
and going for the energy ball inside grassy terrain. It's stab and whatnot.
The life orb adds more damage. It makes slightly more sense now.
Yep, a clean 4-0
sweep. Alistair who needed to stall out Trick Room forgot that Martin Teo didn't need to stall out the rain.
Exactly, yeah. So, well, clean 4-0. It's just that the double Trick Room setter is so difficult for Alistair to cover up in the matchup.
Yeah, he needs a way to prevent Trick Room from coming out. Or if Trick Room is up, he needs a way to ensure that the camera up is stopped before it comes in.
Exactly. He tried to make a prediction by turn 2, I would say.
Yeah, turn 2.
Predicting the camera up to come in, but it came in the wrong slot. If it had netted the correct slot, Stakataka would have been in a good position already.
Correct, yeah. Stakataka would have been the Pokemon to be feared in Trick Room due to the fact that it can launch off massive amounts of damage. Okay, maybe not with Gyro Ball, but he's got
other moves that he has in his arsenal. That's how he's.
It's just that generally Gyro Ball, since it scales with lesser speed, it's stronger.
Exactly. But, well, not netting the initial KO on that switch in, predicting the wrong slot, it came back to bite him, I would say.
Yeah.
No, but it's much difficult, right? Because it's always a 50-50.
Almost impossible. You would think that he would want to switch up Bulu anyways, but
in that situation, right, like Martin Teo could have easily sacked one of his Pokemon to bring camera up safely.
Yeah, I was thinking that he would sack Mimikyu actually.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead he played the risky game and it paid off well for him.
Exactly. True. So I don't know how is Alistair gonna adjust from this because the Trick Room core is just so easy to set up, and it's very hard to break for a hyper offense team like Alistair's.
Yeah, because the fact that Mimikyu really negates one attack.
Exactly, and with that disguise barrier initially, there's just no way.
That's the problem when you don't have like multi-attack moves. Exactly. But then again, like
not only that, like ways to stop the setup.
Yeah,
maybe
there's nothing. If he uses Lucario to follow me, he also disrupts the
flow. Yeah. So you either have to carry like a taunt or a spread move.
But that's the problem. Spread moves are usually weaker.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll have to see how this Alistair play around this. Potentially maybe a Hurricane Confuse. I think that's his only way out. I feel.
Correct. Hurricane Confuse might be his only way. But we're going for Lucario and Musharna to guarantee the Trick Room.
Exactly. So I believe this is just a very free follow me and Z Trick Room.
Yeah, this should be a very, very easy follow me and Trick Room because does the Lucario carry Focus Sash?
Yes, it does. It was revealed in the Swiss rounds yesterday. That is carrying Focus Sash.
So yeah, that gives him that also gives him a buffer of one attack.
Exactly. So there are two mons in that team that has the buffer. So quote unquote. Yeah. The Lucario and the Mimikyu.
Correct. But here Martin is gonna have an easy Z Trick Room and then launch off some Hypnosis afterwards.
Exactly. I don't know how this Alistair stopped this. No way Confusion can stop this because it's not going into the Musharna slot. Regardless,
Yep.
it's all going to go into the Lucario.
Tapu Koko's gonna go for Electro Ball, but that's definitely gonna go to Lucario, proccing its not even
proccing.
enough.
Because Lucario is quite speedy, I would say.
Oh yeah, true. Lucario, I think Lucario has the base 70, 75.
Yep. And we do see a Z Trick Room
Yep.
launching off. And it's a very free switching for Tapu Bulu to come in here.
Yeah.
Because you change the terrain and Musharna is able to Hypnosis and stall one Pokemon
Stall.
for
I
one turn.
think if he brings in Bulu, he should stall the Pelipper.
Yeah. I believe stall the Pelipper, then the
Because he
Tapu
can one hit KO with the Horn Leech anyways.
with the Horn Leech, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that is if he chooses to bring. He Alistair may be at a one Pokemon advantage, but it's no guarantee that
No,
he
but the
can
board,
bring it. Yeah,
the
but
board
the board
position-
control is with Martin.
What? You see a
Bringing
camera?
camera up. Okay, I think he just wants to launch Earth Powers.
This is fine because
Yeah.
you get to launch an Earth Power into the Coco slot and then just net off a Hypnosis
Oh.
on that slot on
Okay.
Pelipper.
Okay, this is also very good for Martin because either way, even if Coco switches out or anything, an Earth Power is gonna hit everything on the team because the Pelipper is already out on the field.
Exactly. There's no switches to Earth Power.
Yep.
And the Coco has yet to reveal Protect in this set, I would say. So I don't think it's
would
carrying
imagine it does not have Protect.
Yep. And we might just see Ludicolo coming back inside, and we
Correct.
might see a Protect. I feel.
Yeah, it should be a Protect. Or you could even go for an Eruption Distance just to break the sash.
Protect on Pelipper, I would say.
Or Protect on Pelipper. Yep, that's a fair move so that you can get so you can launch off the Fake Out Distance.
No,
right?
so you block yourself from a Hypnosis on Musharna.
Yeah. Fair. I really think that Bulu was a better choice.
Yeah, I personally felt Bulu was a better choice either, but oh well, we'll have to see how much does Earth Power do here with the resist. Oh, it's a 3-shot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay,
Protect on the Pelipper was the safest move that Alistair could have made. But here Alistair can go for a Fake Out, but the question is, will the camera protect? If he fakes out onto the camera up, sure, the camera usually in distance the camera want to protect them. Or
I'm
like
not sure about that play, but I feel like the play on Alistair's side right now is just a Fake Out and a Hurricane.
onto the Musharna.
Onto the Musharna, exactly. He has to bang on the
Yeah,
Confusion at this point.
he needs to make the big plays right now.
But if Musharna does carry Protect, then
yeah, it's gonna be a big issue. If he double protects, he burns the turn.
he burns the initial Fake
Yeah.
Out that he wanted it, that he built to get into this position, I would say.
Correct. Okay. Yep. Actually, switching out camera up, I think into
I feel
Tapu
Bulu's
Bulu.
coming
Yep.
in, yeah. Bulu's gotta come in.
So he needs to bank on the Confuse here.
Yep.
Or
Or
yeah.
we
he
might
needs
just see a
to use-
Protect on Musharna if it's carrying it.
Correct. Yeah. Actually, going up Pelipper into Tapu Koko. No, Sakataka.
Sakataka.
Okay, I guess.
No, Sakataka avoided.
Was that Hypnosis? Hypnosis only becomes 90 plus. It doesn't become 100%.
And that 5%.
Yeah, I think
came
it's
back to bite
95
him,
because on default, Hypnosis only has I think base 60 or 70.
right? And then
Base
you,
60 accuracy. Yeah.
with the increase of accuracy,
I think they should go into. I don't understand why he wanted to go for that.
no, to cover up the camera, potentially going for Protect.
Oh yeah, true.
So you want to nuke that slot.
True. That's one option. So but here Musharna's just gonna launch off another Hypnosis. Or he's gonna try to.
It could into the Ludicolo slot or Stakataka for all I know.
Yeah, I think Sakataka here is
I think
a big threat.
Stakataka because Tapu Bulu wants to regenerate its health.
Yeah.
Possibly go for a Horn Leech onto Ludicolo.
Correct.
With
Yeah.
the grassy terrain boost,
Yeah,
nothing's gonna take
it's gonna be it's gonna be an easy KO for the Tapu Bulu here. And he has no real way of taking down the Musharna due to the fact that Gyro Ball does minimal damage thanks to the fact that both of them have very slow speeds.
Exactly. Because all the hard hitters are moving last for Alistair. That's why he's unable to move.
Yeah, the problem with Alistair is that because he can't prevent Trick Room from going up, and the fact that Martin Teo has brought in the Trick Room team, you could say.
Exactly. He's just maneuvering within these 3 Pokemon, and he's just it's free for him to do so.
Yeah.
That-
As long as he
because
gets Trick Room up, he can essentially win.
Yep.
Actually, switching out into the camera. Fair call. As
might
long
just
as
see
he
Ludicolo bringing
wow.
Tapu Koko. Yes, he needs to prevent the Hypnosis
Yeah,
from.
but here unless Sakataka here just goes for it, we can't use Z-move because he already used the Water Dream Z.
Right, absolutely. And we do see a Gyro Ball going into the camera up slot.
Yep.
That does like 10. With a
True.
crit, by the way.
True, that only does 10% with the crit. So the Hypnosis prevent, but now you can just go. Okay,
But this is the last turn of Trick Room, by the way. This is the last turn of Trick Room.
I think camera up here can go a bit rampant because there's nothing that can really threaten him.
Exactly. And
Although
there's
it's
no
the last turn of
switches.
Trick Room, he'll just switch out next turn.
Yeah, but now Martin needs to call where is the Pelipper coming in from.
Yeah, that's true.
That is gonna happen
Where is
right
the
now.
and he can go for.
And he needs to hypnosis that Pelipper switch in, I feel.
Yeah. Oh wait, he can because flying
Pelipper's
Pokemon aren't affected by the terrain because they're not touching
exactly.
it. Yep.
So now Martin, I believe he's just gonna hypnosis the Tapu Koko slot. I believe.
I would imagine so
He
as
would
well.
hypnosis and earth power the
Tapu
Koko
Koko will
slot.
want to switch out this turn for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, switch out, but there's nothing on the field that can stop that.
Yeah.
Because
That's
all
one
the
thing.
earth power switch-ins are already damaged, and if it's a like Ludicolo coming in, the earth power would be a 2-shot regardless, and
Be a
it's the
2-shot,
last
yeah.
turn of Trick Room.
Yeah, Stakataka going for protect, but he needs to switch out this turn. That's all. That's the issue.
No, this is a good switch, I would say, from Alistair.
It's a good switch. I mean, but there's only one issue right now. Okay. You can switch into Pelipper, I guess, this turn.
Yeah, so now Pelipper's gonna come in from the Stakataka slot, but then Trick Room will go up regardless.
He needs to fake out the Musharna. That's why this turn.
Yeah, fake out the Mushana, bring in Pelipper, I would
Yeah.
say. That's
Yeah,
the better option.
that's his best option because
And then in the following turn, the Ludicolo and Pelipper can double target into the Mushana slot.
we won't guarantee a KO, which is an issue.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's got to bank on a confusion from Hurricane at some point.
By one
Because there's
point, I
no
guess.
way of stalling the Trick Room from going up. There's no Taunt, there is no Roar, there's no
He
reverse
does not
Trick
have
Room.
them. Yeah, he's a very
He's got to
very
bank on
hyper offensive. That's
yeah,
why.
it's too hyper offensive, but he can't stop the bulk of Mushana right now. So
Correct.
he's got to bank on RNG at some point or another.
Martin just needs to be a bit smarter, conserve his camera up a little bit, and ensure that his terrain wins at the end of the day.
Exactly, Stakataka will be redrawn.
Correct.
I
Into
believe
Pelipper.
Pelipper's coming
Should
in,
be
yeah.
Pelipper. Yep.
And a fake out will go into the Mushana, I think.
Yeah, it should be Musharna.
Yep.
If our Martin here is a little bit brave, he could just not switch out, but he should.
No,
as
he
I
didn't go
said,
for a protect on camera.
He won't protect. He won't protect because
Yep.
because he knows that turn is a useless turn.
Exactly, but
So
now
this turn he switches out, but he might take because he can protect and then go for the trick.
exactly, but I believe now the barrage of attacks are gonna come in from Alistair onto the Mushana slot. It depends on does the Mushana survive the water spam attacks or the Hurricane and
it
Scald.
doesn't have the berry.
Yes,
Oh no,
that's my point.
Pelipper has Brine, and if Musharna is 50 HP or less, it takes double damage.
Exactly, that's my point.
Big IQ plays here, ladies and
See,
gentlemen.
camera was gonna protect. It can't switch out because you're not gonna.
It doesn't want to take damage. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe now the
Hydro Pump here, not even missing under the range.
It's gonna come down to the calculations. Does this pick up the KO? Because if it does, it's a big turn already. Brian, like you said, yes. Does it pick up the KO?
I think not.
It
It does!
does!
Oh! Now Martin has no trick room setters.
Martin has no true room setters. Camera has already burned the protect. It's a very free Hydro Pump and Hurricane.
Alistair punching his way through here. But
My
here with Bulu, it's just a Hurricane and... Okay, if he has Skull, he should use Skull. I think that's why, because he didn't have Ice Beam, he had Hydro Pump instead.
Right.
But
Wait,
I'm
Hydro
not sure.
Pump, Fake Out,
Hydro Pump, Fake Out, Energy Ball.
Energy Ball, right.
Energy Ball and Protect. He had Protect.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But right now, oh my god, if Alistair does not miss his Hydro Pump, I think he's got game. See,
No, I think it's fine. As long as he doesn't miss the second Hydro Pump.
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, he does connect. I think that spells good
No,
game already.
because like, if he doesn't miss... Because like, for example here, if he misses this, it's fine. He won't get KO'd because the Hurricane will KO the Bulu.
Yeah, but we saw from the bulk of Bulu, it could take one.
No.
Hurricane. Oh, at
He
that
can only
range,
take
it
at
would.
full HP.
At
It's half
that
HP,
range,
yeah.
it won't
Because
take it.
it does about 90 to 95% hit damage.
Right. No, but just now we saw it living at about 20%, I would say.
No, it wasn't 20%. It was like 10% left. It was quite a bit because it was in the red.
Okay,
It
fair
was
enough.
in the red. So
Alright,
basically,
we're getting
as
a
long
game 3. This
yeah.
is very exciting
Ooh.
because we saw the hyper offense team
yeah, Alistair
pulled it back.
Alistair punching his way through the damage instead.
I think Alistair just had better foresight in that matchup. He
Yeah.
had to stall out the Trick Room until it finished and got the Pokemon to the position where it was Ludicolo and Pelipper on the
Correct,
field at
yeah.
the same time. How
Correct.
did he got into the like?
I'm just
That
thinking,
must be some
yeah,
good
I think
long-term
because the
preparation.
last banking was ensuring that the Musharna was KO'd before it could set up Trick Room.
exactly, and that's also a very important calculation with the Hydro Pump and Brine that it will pick up the KO on.
Correct,
Musharna.
correct.
But he can't do that in turn 1 just because Lucario is in the way.
But-
With the follow me.
But one thing that Martin has now picked up is the fact that the Ludicolo on Alistair's side
Yep.
does not have Ice Beam. It only has Hydro Pump, and Hydro Pump is iffy at best.
Exactly. But there's no way for the Ludicolo to even launch off an Ice Beam into the Tapu Bulu regardless, because the
Correct,
Bulu
yeah.
will operate in Trick Room.
Correct, yeah.
So I believe it's fine. Because you have Energy Ball with the terrain, you still get boost. Ice Beam's not going to help in that matchup, I feel.
It won't really be much of a benefit either way. It's just that Hydro Pump has a higher base power, that's all.
Exactly. I mean, you see Coco and Pelipper.
Same leads, yeah.
I believe the same leads are going to come out. Lucario. No, maybe
Bulu,
and Tapu
Mimikyu.
Bulu. The same leads from game 1 from Martin Teo's side. Not changing.
Okay, yeah. So the question is, what will Coco go for this turn? Would
I
he
believe
go for
bot
it?
switch.
The thing is, like, I could say he can also do a dazzling gleam and then a hurricane into the blue for the KO.
My Bulu protects or switches.
Bulu protects, yeah,
that-
then
that's
that's
gonna
one issue.
punish inside Trick Room,
Yeah.
and you don't want that. That's not a gamble.
Because
I'm willing
because
to
here's the
go
thing,
for.
he can't KO the Mimikyu for sure.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's
He's
no way
got
he can KO the
he's
Mimikyu.
got to stall out Trick Room for 5 turns every single set. I
Yeah,
believe.
every single set, just about every set.
Yeah, for the past 2 games, he's already stalled out until the end. He's got to do it this way as well. I believe.
Yeah, but that's the thing with these things. The first turn, yep, dazzling gleam and no protects coming from the Bulu. Is he willing to sack it?
If Bulu does go down, my goodness.
No, if Bulu goes down, that-
Ludicolo have a field day right now.
yeah, no. Here's the thing, because now
And
he can. Yeah, I told you he's gonna do that. Dazzling gleam and a hurricane. Because here's the thing, once he gets Bulu out, he can win the terrain wars and ensure Z hypnosis doesn't go off.
No, my opinion was why not just
He
protect?
didn't even
and-
trick room.
He didn't even trick room.
He didn't even trick room.
I can't understand because Martin Teo, what was he banking on? I don't get. understand.
I'm not sure. Maybe he banked on the fact that he.
My point was why not just protect Trick Room? You're safe.
Well, now
It's
he-
a no drawback play.
well, now he's gonna trick room, I guess. But he's lost one major damage dealer,
exactly.
and I think at the back should be Mega Camera.
I do not agree with that play at all. Now Ludicolo is gonna have a field day on the field. Musharna, Mimikyu.
And it can.
What can it
and it's a better answer to his Mega Camera.
exactly?
Yeah.
I'm at a loss
not
for
sure.
words,
I'm not sure
honestly.
what Martin was going for that turn. Maybe he wanted to set the Z Trick Room so that he can launch off Hypnosis, but he forgot that now that Tapu Koko is on. Now that Tapu Koko is still there, he can win the terrain war, and
Exactly.
by having electric terrain, it prevents Pokemon from going to sleep. That's not a KO.
Whoa. Brian didn't even pick up the KO because it even
It wasn't. It
reached
reached the
50%.
50%. Yeah, it needs to be at yellow. And here comes the Z Trick Room.
And
I
now the
assume,
tides
yeah.
have changed.
Um,
Z Trick Room.
yeah, but it's not as
And-
slow as Taka Taka. That's the issue.
Right.
Okay.
But now Martin's gonna get a free hypnosis off. I feel if he's gonna do it right now
On who?
because
That's
there's
the
no way of Alistair changing the terrains.
question. Yeah, right now, like
something's
he-
gotta eat a
yeah,
hypnosis.
he's got to switch out now. He's got to switch. He's got to
He's gotta
sack
switch
something.
the
Yeah.
Coco, but if he does switch out the Coco into something and Musharna does hypnosis into that slot, he hasn't even burned a turn of sleep by the time he enters.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bit of an issue for Alistair here.
Exactly. My goodness. The tides have changed, but still, Martin Teo can crawl back into this. It's just that the camera has to do a lot of work.
He's got to overextend. Palpa actually looking for protect. I think that's fine. That's a fine move. Protect.
Alright, what does Mimikyu go for here? Hypnosis,
Hypnosis.
into the Coco slot.
Yep.
That's what I said, yeah.
That's the best move he can do.
I believe a Shadow Claw would go into the
Oh,
Pelipper
I
slot.
think this is fine as well. He can take the hypnosis this turn. No, but then he can just hypnosis next turn, right?
Exactly, that's my point.
Uh,
It depends now whether does he wake up. Regardless, still everyone's still recovering HP from with the grassy terrain.
I think this turn he can switch up Pelipper.
into
No,
one.
he should sack
don't-
Pelipper, honestly.
You have to sack it at some
He
point
should
or
sack
another.
Pelipper. And here I think he just burns some turns with Coco.
Yeah. Exactly, he's
Yeah.
got to wake up at some point, Coco, because Martin Teo is not afraid of the Coco at this moment,
Yeah.
unless it wakes up and gets
But like,
launches off a
yeah,
dazzling
but
gleam.
Coco needs to wake up, which is an issue. It could wake up this turn. It could wake up. This
It
turn.
could wake up, yeah, but the odds are
Not looking
rather
good.
slim. Yeah.
But we have to remember, it's also wasting trick room turns.
Yeah,
He's
burning
wait-
trick room turns,
Okay.
burning the sleep turns.
Burning sleep turns. Yeah. So it's a very slow game here for both sides.
Yeah, and there's 3 more turns of trick room going up. I'm not sure how is Alistair gonna.
Ooh, with drawing Pelipper, I think Stakataka comes in here.
Yep,
But
Taka
is
does
he
come in.
willing to take the hypnosis as the issue?
I think he has to, regardless.
Oh,
Predicting.
predicting the switch onto the Coco.
Does Coco wake up here?
Tapu Koko wakes up and lets loose a dazzling gleam. Martin Teo here, not really being good. The crit on a Musharna.
double crit. No, the crit on Mimikyu didn't matter because even though the Mimikyu got the sword stance off, but they switch it to Stakataka, which is very defensively
Yeah.
built as well.
Okay,
And also
here
offensive.
he just switches. Yeah,
but it's a good trade, I feel.
it's a good trade. It's a good trade. A decent trade at best.
Yep.
Right now here, he just needs to KO the Musharna. Honestly.
How?
Okay.
Because we saw the Jaraball did at least 10%.
Okay, good.
At most 10%, I would say, sorry. with the
Good
Musharna.
question. Right now,
Yeah.
he should switch out Tapu Koko back to Pelipper in this turn. Actually.
It's Martin just gonna now have a free hypnosis at some point or another, but
He-
Alistair's just dodging all these hypnosis
Yeah,
left and
man.
right.
Left and right. Although Stakataka is literally one big block of Lego.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure there's 2 more turns of Trick Room going up. Alistair
should
just
be-
needs to maneuver, I would say.
This should be a protectant. Yeah, protectant for Stakataka, honestly.
Exactly, and now that camera up's on the field, he has 2 turns to abuse this Trick Room, and from what I understand, Mushana has no way of recovering.
Yeah,
There's no recover.
Alistair clawing back here with a little bit of RNG, but
Yeah.
mostly outplaying.
But Martin Teo really needs to set up a second Trick Room, I believe, because camera up can't KO 4 Pokemon in 2 turns.
It cannot.
It
No,
can't.
no,
I don't
because
think it can.
you have to remember at the back there is the Pelipper, there is
The Pelipper and Ludicolo.
assuming the Ludicolo.
Once the Trick Room's up, then if that fast mode comes in, it's gonna be a hard
Yeah,
game.
it's just gonna, because with the fast mode, it's just damage on damage on damage.
Yeah, so that's why
Going
my
for a
Pokemon-
gyro ball anyways.
Yeah, Alistair wants his Mushana out basically, because once you remove the Mushana, then the Trick Room
Yeah.
is out. But Martin Teo really needs the Mushana to survive. It really does.
Yeah. Okay, this turn the Ludicolo should come in, honestly.
Of course, Mushana Hypnosis does go into Stakataka. If Ludicolo comes in, it's gonna go for a fake out regardless.
Yeah, it fakes out this turn, burns a sleep turn, and
Yeah.
then next turn it can go and because he still has the Pelipper at the back to win.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, Alistair really crawled back into this game.
Yeah, he crawled back. Yeah, the grass disappeared, so there's not gonna be any more recovery.
Yeah, but my goodness, I still feel that the game was decided in turn 1 because Bulu would have been very, very helpful.
This is
here.
the Ludicolo turn. Yeah, Ludicolo doesn't even need to necessarily go for the fake out this turn. He can just KO the Mushana.
No, but this is the last turn of Trick Room.
Oh yeah, he needs
That's
to go
what
for
I'm
a
saying.
fake
You
out,
have to go for a fake out into
You have to go
Mushana.
for a fake out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Mushana really needs to survive the turn after this, and it needs to land a Trick Room up for Martin to be even come back in this game. It really
Yeah,
needs
it is
to.
for like
He needs the second Trick Room.
Needs the Trick Room, but Martin too here, like I think he overpredicted a bit, like in comparison to game 1 where
I feel that-
Alistair overpredicted.
Exactly, I feel like the momentum really just shifted in Alistair's
Yeah.
side when he lost the Tapu Bulu because
Going for a stuck. Oh, fair call. Because like the Earth Power can't hit the Pelipper.
can't hit the Pelipper 1, and then now you just he's gonna fake out into the Mushana, I bet.
Yeah.
And then when Trick Room is up, you get the rain boosted Hydro Pump or Brine, doesn't
Yeah.
matter, into the Mushana. That's what he was hoping for.
Going for a helping hand instead, but if it's an Earth Power, it's not gonna be useful.
Fake out onto the Mushana, I bet.
Should be the Mushana.
Yeah.
So does it go for
Eruption.
eruption? But it's
Does
gonna be
it
mitigated. It's gonna be mitigated by the rain. Yep.
It doesn't. Yep. No crits whatsoever. Nope. Trick Room is up. And
So,
that's your spell game.
That spells good game, honestly. He should water Zemo into the Mushana to prevent. Oh no, he can just
No,
brine as well.
You
He
can
can
water.
brine.
You can
He
water
can-
him Z into camera.
He can
and
brine into
Mushana.
Mushana because it definitely picks up the KO in the rain. We saw last
absolutely,
game.
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Camera up does protect.
Going for a
Does
last
Mushana
ditch
s-
effort. It's a last ditch
Does
last
Mushana
ditch
survive brine?
He is not playing. The only game that Alistair is playing is VGC 2018,
Right.
and he
You
is
see
gonna
Water
go
MC.
all out with that Hydro Vortex. I assume into the camera up just to ensure
He's gotta
damage.
go into the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in the rain, I wonder if it picks up KO. So the thing about Z-moves is that it goes through protect anyways, but at only 30% of the original damage. But 30% is more than enough to pick up a KO on the camera thanks to the rain.
Even with the protect, but thanks to the rain, Hydro Vortex does pick up the KO on camera, and we do see a brine.
So Brian
just
here
to lock
definitely
it up
picks
the game.
on the Mushana. Alistair pulling it through.
That was a very good game.
It was
Close
very,
set,
very
3
fantastic.
games in a row. Well
That is
displayed.
right.
Yep.
Well displayed here by Alistair, playing, not really playing the slow game, but playing the hard game for sure.
Yeah, he had to stall up 5 turns of Trick Room, by the way, and he had to maneuver his Pokemon very carefully, I would
Yeah,
say.
he needed to mitigate as much damage from the camera up as possible.
To be honest, I feel like that third game, it really boiled down to sacking the Tapu Bulu.
Yeah.
That was
the
a
Bulu
very
sack was
gutsy
bad,
play,
yeah.
and I really don't, I don't get it.
Because he needed the Bulu to win terrain
'Cause
wars.
My
and-
if I was in Martin Teo's spot, I think I would just safely just go for a Trick Room and protect. It was a no drawback play. But for you to lose Bulu in that first turn,
I think because
really
he
don't
went for an
understand.
over predict, thinking that he would gun down on.
But that's such an
on-
over prediction for turn 1.
It's so risky though, and it's a game 3.
It was a game 3. You couldn't risk anything that set. I still believe Protect and Trick Room was the better play because
Yeah.
Bulu would have been in Trick Room. You can pick up the KO on Coco on that slot, whatever next turn.
Because the issue there was that Bulu is one of his attackers, and he can't afford to lose any attackers.
Exactly. While Tapu Bulu was. Alright, yeah, but knowing that when he lost Tapu Bulu, it was just one Pokemon basically attacking for his whole team against 4 other Pokemon.
Correct.
I still feel Bulu and Camera should have been preserved and attacked at the appropriate timing.
Yeah.
I really don't get.
Losing a main attacker, a main trick room attacker, really really cut a lot of momentum for
I
Martin.
could understand if he went for a trick room that turn and Bulu went for an
Yeah,
attack.
but he didn't even trick
But
room.
he didn't even trick room. I just don't
I think
understand.
because I think the only thing that we could take from it is that he really wanted to get the Z trick room off, which is a big investment. Didn't pay off this time.
Exactly.
All right. So either way, we are going to the next top 8 match.
Exactly.
Um,
Which is JSDO versus Waywin. That'll be very exciting.
that'll be an interesting match. And before we do, we'll congratulate Alistair for making
Moving
it to
to
the
top
top 4, and also as well to Martin Teo for making it to the top cut in the
To the
first
top
place.
cut. Absolutely. Congratulations to both of them. I can't wait to see our next top 8 match here.
Yep.
Which is very, very exciting
Yeah,
because
I think it's happening really soon. So
our first top 8 we had an Australian versus a Singaporean, and then this next top 8 will be a Malaysian versus a Singaporean.
all right. So
Yeah, it's just literally international right now.
so we'll get back to you shortly while they're setting up. And
exactly. We'll take a 5-minute break.
They'll take a short 5-minute break.
All right. We'll
Right.
be right back.
See ya.